Hello, have you felt any of these while being at work? 1. I feel I can do more than what I'm doing here already. 2. There is no growth in this company. 3. I'm not safe here. When I come up with great ideas, they get hijacked. Someone else takes the credit, and sometimes when something goes wrong, I will be criticized. 4. I go to work just to keep a roof above my head and food on my table. And the worst of all, 5. Even after working here, I am unable to meet my basic needs. If you said yes, congratulations. Why? Because when you're unhappy or are in trouble, you're just 3 steps away from happiness or a solution. Step 1. Accept. You'll have to accept your situation, accept the fact that you're in trouble, and start looking for solutions. Which brings us to step 2. Study. Study your situation properly, study the problems properly, study the answers properly. And step 3. Find the difference between where you are and where you want to be, and then start walking the path from the problem towards a solution based on the understanding above. Well, no offense, I just wanted that to get into your head pretty easily, which is why I made this up. Since you already said yes, let's say you have cleared step 1. That is, you have accepted what the problems you have. Let's move on to step 2. And for that, let me tell you a 5-level story. This is Abraham. His friends call him Abe. And Abe, right after college, lands on a job in the Middle East. Being single, he doesn't have to worry about anything. All he has to do is get his paperwork done and then take the next flight to his employment destination. Which brings us to level 1, the first job. Now, after a very tiresome journey, Abe lands at the UAE. Well, when he comes out of the airport, he finds someone greeting him with his name on the name board and takes him to the employer's accommodation, which looks more or less like this. Having achieved the first basic things in employment, Abe is happy. So let's say level 1 is complete. But soon enough, Abe starts to feel uncomfortable. The reason being, there is no privacy, he has no means to take care of his health, and yes, looking at this picture, you can assume, you can understand that there could be some security concerns. And of course, he is not paid enough to afford a place of his own. So what he does next is he finds a better job, which means he moves on to level 2. With this newfound job, he finds himself an apartment where he has privacy, he has a means to take care of his health, there is no concern about safety, and more importantly, he has enough money. He is paid much better than the first job. That means level 2 is complete. Abe moves on with his job for some time, but soon he starts to get restless. The reason being, he now wants to think about his future. He wants to have a family, he wants someone to care for him, and he wants someone to care for him. Which brings on to the next level. You see, this job was not paying him enough to support the family. So he works hard and lands in a new job, the third job. With this newfound job, Abe is comfortable enough to buy a new house and start a family with a girl he just met, which means he has now cleared level 3. Abe is happy for some time, but soon enough he gets restless again. This time it's not family, it's again the reasons from work. You see, after having met all these requirements, there are new things popping up in his mind. He wants distinction, he wants respect, he wants recognition from his peers. He lacks that sense of achievement which he sees on a lot of people's faces. And he realizes that if he stays on with his job, he won't be able to reach the place he wants to be, which brings him to the next level. So what he does is that he works really hard and he clears some interviews and finally lands in a much better job. Now this job means he is in a management level and also he is able to take decisions on behalf of the company. Also, this happens to be a multinational company where he gets to interact with a lot of people worldwide. He gets to exchange ideas, he gets to exchange his views, and in return, he gets a lot of ideas and concepts and deep insights about his job from these people. He starts to network with a lot of people from different parts of the world. And with this, his understanding of his job improves a lot. He realizes that he needs to get certified. And he enrolls himself in a lot of international organizations. He studies his job perfectly from different organizations, and he does a lot of courses, and he gets himself certified. He is now an expert in his area. And little by little, he realizes that he is starting to get respect from his peers and colleagues. Now with that, Abe completes the fourth level: distinction, respect, recognition, and the sense of achievement. Abe is again happy, but not for long. Now, the problem is he is in a very responsible position. He is responsible for a lot of things, and soon he finds himself burning out. He doesn't have energy to do his day-to-day activities because everyone looks up to him for answers. Then something happens. He realizes that he has answers to a lot of questions his colleagues ask. He alone is able to solve a lot of problems. He alone is able to see problems in a way which no one else are seeing in his company. He's starting to see a lot of patterns. And he is able to solve a lot of problems which he thought won't be able to do or solve much earlier. And finally, he's starting to realize that he's having an impact on the lives of a lot of people. And then he realizes that he is part of the whole picture, a bigger picture. His decisions are having an impact on the people around him and on the entire world as such. Now this is when he realizes that he is an indispensable component of the entire world. That is when he realizes that how important his job is, how significant his decisions are, and how important for him it is to come to work and get his duties done in a regular manner. Now, Abe has a purpose and meaning for his life. He's waking up excited to go to work. he has reached to the point of self-actualization. Abe is at the fifth level. Congratulations! With that, you now know one of the most important concepts of human psychology called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This concept is significant not just in psychology but also in project management. You see, what I have been explaining all this while is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs arranged in a pyramid shape. Each level stacked above the other. Altogether, 5 levels, one above the other, ranging from 1 to 5. The sequence is important and the shape of the pyramid is important. You see, a pyramid represents balance, and right balance to all these levels is very important for a person to achieve self-actualization, or in simple terms, in simple layman terms, full potential. I chose the name Abe just so because this theory was first formulated by Abraham Maslow, a Russian psychologist. He started searching for the very meaning of life right from the day of his career. And that is how he arrived at this theory at 35 years of age. According to Abraham Maslow, every human being has 5 needs. 2 of them physiological or material, 3 of them psychological and spiritual in nature. Now, it is important to go to each level in the right sequence. It is also important to have the right kind of balance between these levels. Only if a person has the right kind of balance is he actually able to achieve his full potential. Okay, fine. But how does all this knowledge matter? But that is a very big question. Look closely at what I had mentioned in the beginning. The first point, I feel I can do more than what I'm doing already. 2. There is no growth as company. 3. I'm not safe. 4. I go to work just to keep a roof above my head and food on the table. 5. Even after working here, I'm unable to meet my basic needs. You see, all these 5 levels basically represent the 5 levels of the hierarchy of needs. So if you have to move up the level, you just have to ask what should be the questions you should be asking yourself. What are the questions you are already asking, and what are the questions you should be asking? When you have a right understanding about this concept, it is easy for you to plan to your next level in your career. Now that brings us to the final stage, the solution. How to solve the difference, the distance between the problem and the solution. That's easy. You just have to ask these questions. What level are you stuck at? What is the next level? How to go to the next level? 2. How do people who are on level 5 in your profession reach and stay there? And finally, are my priorities balanced? There could be different scenarios where you are not focusing on your priorities in a balanced way. The green color represents your physiological needs, and the white color represents your spiritual needs, or let's say psychological needs. Having an improper balance in this leads to anxiety. In this case, you can see the green area is much bigger, which means a person is focusing more on his physiological needs than his spiritual or psychological needs. This person might end up rich, but the person will never be happy. The next case is a person who is focusing too much on his spiritual needs or psychological needs. This kind of person will be happy, but it will be very difficult for him to stable life in the society because he is not focusing enough on his basic fundamental needs, that is food, employment, shelter, family. None of these are met. He will not be able to position himself properly in the society. So this kind of an example is also not right for the person. The only way to be happy, to be satisfied, and to reach at your full potential at work or on a personal level is to balance both these things together. You might wonder, is it possible to apply on a company level? Well, actually, yes. On a company level, the people responsible, let's say the top management, they have to find the why and streamline the employees to their why. Second, find the right kind of people and invest in them to reach their level 5. But most importantly, tweak the whole decision-making process from being profit-centric to impact-centric. Thank you. If you like this video, please don't forget to share and subscribe this video. To share this video and subscribe to this channel.